Hey, hey, yeah, yeah.
What's up, YouTube? So today I want to talk to you guys about should you rent or should you buy your law school books. I know my 1L year I was real adamant about me buying my law school books because I wanted to, after I graduate, I want to start my own law library, have my personal law library from the books that I used when I was in law school. Um, Unfortunately, I did not keep my books. I sold my books back to the bookstore because, as you know, I don't know for all law school students, but for the most law school students I know, um, any money you come around or come by, you want to take that money because law school is very expensive. So I sold my books back to the bookstore my first year in law school. Second semester I did the same. First semester I did the same as well. So I spoke with some professors about the law library, as you would say. Um, they told me a story that you know they tried to start a law library when they was in school, but when they actually became a lawyer, um, they found out that they don't even need the books. They won't even reference the books. They won't even go back and look at the books because the books are only cases, which you can look up cases on the internet. It'll take you forever to go through every book to look up a case that you read back in law school. But because that's all the books are, they're just case law. It's a lot of cases that you read in your law school books. So I don't. After they told me that, I didn't feel that I needed to keep my books. So ever since my 2L year, I started renting my books. Now, if you think that you do want to start your own your law library, then you should buy your books. However, when you go to purchase your books, they will be expensive. Law school books are very expensive. I just came from the bookstore trying to buy my books, and it was only for two classes, and it came up to $900, and that was only with two classes. So imagine you having 4 or 5 classes, and you have to get your you have to get your books. It's going to be more than $900. So renting will bring that cost down. I know when I took a year when I rented books, I think I only spent about $200 renting my books, but I only rented two of my books, and one book asked from I asked to borrow from an upperclassman, and that's another thing that you can do is ask upperclassmen do they still have their book that you can borrow for that class. Now, sometimes when you borrow books or sometimes when you purchase new used books, there's a lot of writing and highlighting in those books. So if you don't like a lot of highlighting or writing in the books while you're using the book, then the best route for you to go is to purchase your books and then possibly sell it back to the bookstore after you're done with it. Now, I don't know how other law school bookstores work, but my law school bookstore, you can buy a book for $200, and when you go on to sell it back, they'll only offer you probably $50, probably $30 for the book. And that's kind of get a little frustrating that you bought a book for $200 and then you no longer want it or need it, so you try to sell it back, and you're not even getting 50% of the price of the book. So I mean that's another thing to take in consideration. Would you want to buy a book and then they'll return it to get less than 50% of the price back, or would you rather rent the book and just get back to them and say see you later? So it's a lot of things that you have to take in consideration when you're figuring out should you rent or should you buy your law school books. I know for one book that I did buy that I did not rent that you will need this book that I keep is the blue book. Um, it's actually this book right here. This book teach you the appropriate citations that you would have to put in your papers that you write, your memos that you write, your emotions that you write from different jurisdictions. This book right here, you want to buy and keep this book. I know a lot of lawyers right now that still use this book. And as you can see, I got mine used. So I don't know who sold their book back, but you want to keep this one. I mean, that's about it I can tell you about buying and selling books. If you guys have any more questions about that, comment below,
Hey,
or
hey,
yeah, comment below.
yeah, yeah.